One Up Parties and Games has published a title that I see, and now I want to tell you about it. Castle Break. This is for 2 to 4 players ages 10 and up, and should take you about 60 minutes to play. Castle Break is a medieval adventure strategy board game with card drafting, trading, scenario quest completion, and more. Warriors, the players, have been chosen to represent their kingdom in this year's Castle Break Games. Players' task is to complete quests by collecting trade goods, using tools and weapons, and harnessing their magical powers. For each quest completed, players are rewarded in coin. Earn 6 coin, forge them into keys, and unlock the gates to Dragon's Tower. There, a player will free the dragon and achieve the title of this year's champion. Opponents can barter, steal, and outwit you using various powers and opportunities at every turn to achieve their aims. That's a nice, short, concise little write-up by the publisher there, One Up Parties and Games. And this caught my attention because of the name, because of the write-up, because of the art. There's a few things. There's a few things that caught my eye about this game, and I'm glad it did, because it caused me to go look up some more information on it. So let me tell you what it is I found out. I like the fact that there's a little bit of a twist on the medieval/fantasy genre in this game, because you're breaking into a castle, invading this castle, going through this castle, which all seems stereotyped, to get to a dragon. Aha, but this is where things twist up on you. You're not there to slay the dragon, like so many fairy tales tell us. No, you're there to release the dragon, to free the dragon. That is a nice turn of events, something that caught me by surprise, but I like it. Now, I know from experience that some players are not overly happy with roll and move kind of games, and that's what this is. Right up front, it is. It's a roll and move game. Roll dice, move that many, but this game does go out of its way, a little bit out of its way, you could say, from what the reviewers are saying, what I'm reading, what I'm seeing, what I'm intaking here about the title, is that there are ways, there are abilities, there are power cards, there's even tunnels that will allow you to change, to advance, to improve, to mitigate your movement rolls. So although this is a roll the dice and that's how many movement you get to go kind of game, which turns some people off, there is a lot of opportunities, reviewers are saying, that you can change that. Now, just because you roll, let's say a 3, doesn't mean you're only moving a 3. There's a lot of opportunities you're going to have to be able to alter the dice and to add movement through tunnels and things like that. So yeah, I like the fact that they kept it old school with the roll and move, but added in all these other things to change it, to improve it, because they know that not everyone digs that style. There are definitely a lot of quests. That's something I see running rampant through a lot of the reviews and the talkabouts for this title, is that they did not skimp when they wrote out the quests, the different things that you can do. This gives it an almost sandbox feel, I think, the way they're describing it, because it gives you all these different quests to do in order to gain coin, so you can turn those coins into golden keys to free that dragon. Now, here's something interesting. This isn't something I necessarily recall coming upon in other reviews for other titles, but it has been pointed out by more than a few individuals that the more players you have for this game, especially when you start getting near the number cap, right? This is going to start feeling more like a race for resources style game. It's going to be a mad frenzy, is the image it's giving me. That at that point, when you have so many players on board, it is going to get very, very tight for resources. It's going to get very tight because this whole game is taking place only in a certain number of rounds. So you gotta be careful. You gotta be careful with your time. You gotta be careful with your management. And so if there are that many players all vying, for the gold, for the success, for the quests, then it's going to show. And you're going to have a tough time with resources. So yeah, the more players, the tougher it's going to be. Now, looking at this, I definitely think that the art looks fun as hell. They went out of their way to give it a sort of a fun feeling at the same time with, making sure it was serious. Good serious enough, because you are, dungeon delving, right? It's serious business. But, when you look at, like, the art of the cards, it looks really good, really tight, precise. There's nothing childish about it. There's nothing comic bookish or cartoony about it at all. I appreciate that. Not that I have a problem with cartoony art, but I just feel like it has its place. And a game like this doesn't feel like it should be a place for funny little cartoony art. So they did a good job with that. They did a good job. Another thing I'm getting from the reviewers that they did a good job on, well, not the reviewers, the designers of the game, is that this does have a fair amount of, luck of the draw mechanics, which is something else that can sometimes turn people off. There's too much luck in the game. But knowing this, it seems that the creators and designers of the game decided to offshoot that, you could say, with a deep sense of hand management strategy. So yeah, you are at the mercy of the deck, what's coming out, what you're going to get, but it's going to give you opportunities for more strategy. I think that's a nice balance. Let's hope that they did achieve that balance as much as some of the reviewers say. Yeah, overall, I think another impression I'm getting is that this has been built and designed to be engaging to the serious gamers, but also at the same time to give an opportunity for families to have some good family night games going on. And the reviewers that are talking about this all seem to think that they did a good job capturing that balance. But we'll see once we get this game played. Now listen, don't go out on a limb and listen to what, influencers say. You don't want to be influenced. You want to be informed. So go get some more information. One of the best ways to do that is watch some playthroughs. Find some playthroughs of this or any other title you're interested in, and that'll give you a much better idea if you're going to have fun playing the game than just listening to some floating head or disembodied voice telling you what the publisher wants you to hear. You don't know. But it's a little bit more honest when you watch a playthrough. But go, get more information, and find out what you think of Castle Break.